Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jane Morgan, and welcome to the Pure Foods Tasmania's full year 2020 investor webinar. Pure Foods Tasmania Proprietary Limited was formed in 2015 with the aim to acquire, grow, and develop premium food businesses in Tasmania. To date, and in line with this strategy, PFT has acquired two businesses which are held through separately wholly owned subsidiaries, Tasmanian Pate and Woodbridge Smokehouse. Having listed on the ASX in April this year, the company is pleased to provide shareholders with an update on the FY20 financials. To talk us through the presentation, I'm joined by Managing Director Michael Cooper and Non-Executive Director Sandy Beard. So Michael, I'll hand to you.
Thanks, Jane. Thanks very much for the intro, and thanks everyone online for joining. I just thought I'd give you a bit of an intro for those new investors that are out there, a bit about PFT. As Jane said, PFT was founded in 2015 by a group of investors that wanted to do the next Bellamy's as such. The original guys were all involved in the original roll-up of Bellamy's, and that being very successful, they thought, what else can we do with Tasmanian-like businesses? So they formed PFT and acquired the two businesses, Tasmanian Pate and Woodbridge Smokehouse. Tasmanian Pate is obviously a pate business. It's the largest pate business by volume, not by value in the country, due to its contract pack arrangements, along with supplying Woolworths and other major retailers, along with IGAs as well. Very successful business, potentially the fastest growing pate business in the country from the data that we can see. Woodbridge Smokehouse as such, based down the Don Tricasco Channel, beautiful little location, traditionally smoked over timbers from the orchard, still doing it the same traditional way, which gives us a unique flavour and very much a point of difference to our competitors. So we buy the product in from the three majors and we value add. So about 60% of our business is export, but we are growing our retail business around that export business. Over the last year, it's been pretty successful in growing that business, so all good. Myself, I spent majority of my working career in the beverage industry. GCI Fruit Juices was our family business. We built that up to be the largest organic provider of organic juice in Australia. Had about 150 staff when we exited in 2015. We sold that business, and I came free and thought I'll sit back and take it easy. But the PFT guys contacted me, and I thought, well, there's a great opportunity to jump into another great Tasmanian brand with Tasmanian mandate to grow Tasmanian businesses and also support existing out there, plus acquire new ones. So we basically sat down and decided what we're going to do. There was three options. One option was to grow organically. Second option was to try and sell the business to just one private wealth, or to list the business. And obviously, being a small business, as you can see, it was a challenge to list, and we were successful in listing. On the 30th of April, we listed the business. There was originally 20 shareholders, but I think today there's over 7,500. So it's been an exciting journey, and it allows us to get some equity and raise some capital and some liquidity for the existing shareholders as well. So it all worked pretty well, and a majority of the original shareholders are still in the business today. So I thought I'd run you through the presentation. You've all probably got a copy of it. I just thought the best to show you who the people are, the main top 10 shareholders. You can see they are listed there. To be transparent, I'm number 2, Willa is myself. Then you've got the next one over, shows the directors and the management's holdings, which are pretty clear as well. You can see how it sits. Malcolm McCauley is the chairman. Obviously myself, Ken Fleming is the director, Sandy Beard, and Sam Webb is our production manager, operations manager. You can see that's all pretty clear there. Capital structure, once again, pretty self-explanatory. Then we'll go into the financials. So as you can see, F20 was a net loss of 196, but continuing down the line, EBITDA profit of $41,000 in expenses. The bottom line expenses, listing costs are about the 193, as you can see. Considering we had a loss last year, 189, it was good to be back in the positive ground. We only really had a chance to really focus really hard on this business in the last 12 months. So it's been a good result to get it back in a positive ground, and it's also positive cash flow as well. So breaking up into the entities, as you can see, Tasmania's had really good growth for the last 5 years, and it continues to grow. As you can see there, it's pretty impressive. Revenue was up 21%, $500,000. EBITDA was up 80%. It's a great business, the Tasmania business. It's in a category that's got lots of growth, which is what our mandate is. As you can see, the entertainment category has really been driven hard by the COVID world. A lot of people are obviously eating at home, so our retail business has gone up quite considerably. As you can see, we sort of only got about 7 or 8 customers. What is really exciting, and I'll talk about a bit further, is we have recently secured an export license for our pate business. So that opens up many doors, and potentially there's a $1 million opportunity there for us in our pate business, driving through our existing customers. We commissioned a new factory in October last year to give us increased capacity. So we've got about 300% capacity. We're just in the process of ordering a new automated line as well to improve quality, improve yield, and obviously make it safer for our staff as well. And also there'll be new packaging concepts. We're also looking at new branding as well with Tasmania, along with the great success recently of putting 3 new SKUs into Woolworths nationally, which, as I've mentioned before in previous updates, that'll grow the pate business of about 45% revenue. It's an additional 35% to the group as well. So that's very exciting. Those 3 SKUs themselves are a better for you range. So we've taken out as many not needed ingredients as we can. And based the majority of the product within it is 100% Tasmanian, 100% butter, cheese, and obviously the chicken livers are all free range and all from Tasmania, and our salmon as well, which is always 100% Tasmania as well. So it's quite exciting. It's going very well. Woodbridge itself. So Woodbridge, when we looked at the Woodbridge business, we needed to sort of restructure that business. When I took over the Woodbridge business, they had a lot of SKUs. We deleted about 35 SKUs, which are products. They were basically making products for any customer that wanted different variations. So we took those out, and that obviously affected our revenue by about 6%. And obviously there was, making all these different products just wasn't adding any value to the business, and obviously was affecting the bottom line. I mean, as you can see, in 19 we lost 280,000 that business, but we've turned it around to be a positive EBITDA of 22,000, and it's actually growing well. That business itself in July was up 60% on the same period last year. So a lot of opportunity with the Woodbridge business. We're currently negotiating with our existing partners in Hong Kong and Singapore for a lot more distribution opportunities, which potentially will grow that business significantly, which I'll be able to announce hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We're negotiating with some new distribution partners within the Australian market, and as I said, into Asia as well. So a lot of opportunity there, which is very exciting. New factory, we're doing addition to the factory as well for Tasmania. Alongside the Tasmania factory in Mornington, we've just added another section, which will be completed probably within about another 14 days, which will allow us to increase our production for our Woodbridge Smokehouse products, which is pretty exciting. This is obviously our cash position. So, we are the original capital that was raised in the original raising, as you can see there. We haven't actually spent any of that money as such yet because we are a very positive cash flow business. The 2 entities are generating really good cash so far. We are, as we said in our prospectus, that we will be allocating those funds as per the list there. So our new automation project will spend a bit over $1 million. We've employed a new brand and marketing manager, Anita, which has only been with us for 4 weeks. And MPD, we're going to spend $350K on MPD. Between those two, there's $1 million we're going to invest there, and obviously some working capital. We haven't actually needed any working capital because, as I said, we're cash flow positive. With the whole new branding strategy, you'll see a lot of new branding coming out, new products come out. MPD is my forte. It's what I really like doing. I think that's what we have to do as a business, because every category needs stimulation, and that's what drives sales, and the retailers especially. And for the consumer is always looking for something that's better for them, which is what our mandate is. Just a bit of slide about our people. Obviously, it's very important. What's quite exciting here, we've obviously no lost time injuries or no injuries at all with the last 12 months, which is a really impressive result. We have 32 FTEs, and also very positive to say 52% of females. So we're just looking to employ someone else at the moment, and they're potentially going to be a female as well. So very much equality in this business, and they're very good, the females, very good, much attention to detail. So very proud of that. New product development, as I said, that's our forte. You know, just to show you how nimble this business is and fast this business is, we developed the 3 new SKUs from Woolworths from ground zero. Within 6 weeks, we had them mocked up and ready to go, production samples done, packaging done, and presented to Woolworths, and secured a business that's going to drive 45% revenues to that business. So the success of Pure Foods is our ability to do MPD very quickly. We want to maintain, we've got a very nimble, small structure, which will maintain that because we don't want it loaded up with corporate costs. It's very important to me that we stay nimble and lean. Very exciting as well. Last Thursday, we were advised that we've secured an export license for our pate business. The pate business has never had an export license before. What it has allowed us to do is our facility at Mornington has secured the license as well. So we'll be moving all our new plant-based foods, and our meal solutions will actually be going through our Mornington facility. So that opens up, that's a massive opportunity for this business. To the export license potentially will deliver another 15% growth alone just to Pate through our existing partners we have in Asia. We've got a really good partner network in Hong Kong and Singapore. So that's I'm very excited about this opportunity. It's going to be incremental to our business. The products are all set up and ready to go, and the customer base is there, and they're extremely excited, especially into Asia. Asia is very similar to Australia. What's happened is the online stores in Asia have gone exceptionally well during the COVID period. We're actually currently in negotiations for a very large online store based in Singapore. And I'll tell you more about that in the next coming weeks. So that's very exciting and a massive opportunity for us. As I said, we talked about the 3 SKUs going to Woolworths. That's just a picture of them. Those 3 SKUs are going to 850 stores, so 100% distribution. Quite unique flavours as well. Obviously, the salmon is 100% Tasmanian salmon, so we actually, all the offcuts and so on that we have for our products with our smoked product will be used for that. We're using a Tasmanian brandy as well, which is going to go with our duck pate, which is quite exciting. And our free range chicken pate is obviously 100% Tasmanian free range chickens as well. So that's very exciting. This is a new packaging look for us. It's under the Homestead brand, which is a brand new brand that we built within that 4-week period that we talked about. So you'll see more brands come to light under different categories. This is also exceptionally exciting, the plant-based food business. As you can see, it's a massive category. It's growing at plus 15s. We've been able to secure supply. We're just currently in the process of getting final design done with packaging and so on. We've had an amazing inquiry since we've sort of teased the market that we're coming to this space. Well, I don't think we'll be able to keep up production for the first couple of months because there's so much excitement about it. This whole plant-based category itself will be moving into other products within that, just not into cheese. We'll move into plant-based foods as well. So we very much see as an opportunity to grow that category. We have good distribution partners throughout the national market and also into Asia as well. The main thing is we need to be relevant to our customers, but also make sure that we are playing in the categories that consumers are looking for. So that's the 2 main parts for me. Another one, meal solutions. As you can see, we have got a lot on, but it's very exciting. This is a $1 billion category just in the Australian market itself. That is just a conceptual drawing. You can see on the right-hand side there, but that won't actually be the actual final. What I can say, it will be different to what's in the market today. The current meal solution offer in the market today is not super attractive from what we can see. We've done a lot of research, done a lot of international research about the trends. The meal solutions category itself has just begun. So we're going to have 100% Tasmanian produce in that meal solution. So we'll have, we can have salmon, we can have chicken, we can have trout, and then we can have Tasmanian veggies as well. So we're pretty excited about that opportunity. We're also working on a project there, which is to actually increase the shelf life for a fresh product. So there's more of that information to come, but we're on a very much an exclusivity arrangement with some developers to achieve longer shelf life with fresh product, which no one's ever done before. So that is super exciting. The new online store, which was only launched, 2 weeks ago, we've doubled it. As of yesterday, we've doubled our sales. So the new online store is basically going to be our own products, plus we're actually going to join other Tasmanian producers. We'll actually source the product and actually send them out onto our online store, but as one hamper. So we'll be a Tasmanian hamper-based product. I can announce that we're going to be having oysters come to the table very, very soon, which is really exciting. I think the Tasmanian oysters are probably the best oysters in the world, and we'll be able to deliver them freshly to your door. So I think you'll enjoy that. I mean, I suppose the categories you'll be able to on the hamper they'll be food-based, and obviously beverages will be they're available as well. So really excited about bringing really good Tasmanian produce to the market. So the outlook for us, we are going to grow. That's what we're here for. We organically grow. As you know, potentially the way we're looking, organically we'll grow at probably 50% this year, with just what's in the pipeline. That's without acquisition. So I know everybody's asking the big question, but the acquisition definitely is on the agenda. Hopefully we'll be able to announce some exciting news in the near future. But we're definitely on the go to acquire. We'll also be smart as well. We'll also be looking to sweat some assets with contract packers if we need be. Bellamy's never had one factory, for example, so we're definitely moving down that category. You can see, as I speak about new categories, the categories we're going to play in, definitely beverages. I spent 28 years of my life in the beverage market, I understand it very well. I think I was born on the back of a beverage truck. There's so much opportunity for Tassie beverages to do it well. I mean, why can't we export our beverages to the world? We import a lot of San Pellegrino into Tasmania and Australia. I'm not sure why. I mean, we've got the best sparkling water in the world based here. Non-alcoholic beverages have got huge opportunity. They just don't know how to market them. So we've got the marketing opportunity, and we've got the distribution partners to get those products to the world. So we'll be moving to the beverage industry on the beverage categories in the very short future. An export opportunity, the e-commerce, as I mentioned before, with what we're doing with our partners in Asia, is a whole new category for us. Being connected with a large e-commerce business based in Asia is sort of unlimited as well. I must say we are working really hard on automation to bring our pate business to world's best practice, as I mentioned. And we've also only just yesterday ordered some more products to automate our Woodbridge smokehouse final processing. The smoking will always be done over traditional timbers. That's our point of difference. So we've got an orchard there, and we literally cut the trees down and smoke over traditional timber. So that will always maintain. In summary, invest in brands and marketing. We are doing that, as you saw by our prospectus, what we're going to invest. We've acquired. Obviously, people have joined us. We're interviewing as we speak for some more people to join the business. So we are growing our IP, I suppose, and our people. We will grow the business through organically and acquire. There's no doubt about that. We'll continue to drive cost efficiencies. We've had some large efficiencies so far to date, which is never ending. So you can see by the turnaround. Tasmania alone grew its EBITDA by 80%. There was largely cost efficiencies on the back of some revenue growth as well. So we're pretty excited, and we believe we're well balanced to deliver this great Pure Foods business. Its mandate is to be 100% Tasmanian raw materials where at all possible. I will openly say, though, if in the future we do move outside of Tasmania, it may well be towards New Zealand. I don't think it'll be any further north than that, because it's very much the same ethos and mandate of what Tasmania has. So, but that might be a while away yet, but I just wanted to put that out there. So. And then the last slide just shows the share price. We listed at 20 cents, and as of yesterday, I think we finished up at about 58. So we're only brand new, we only listed, basically got 30th of June these numbers were, and we only had sort of 8 weeks. So basically, in July itself, we had an exceptionally strong July. The business itself in July was up 20% as a total business. The Tas Pate business was up 35%. And the Woodbridge Smokehouse was up 60%. on year ago. So it's pretty exciting, and it's all going well. Sandy, would you like to add anything to?
Yeah, I think the thing that I most liked about the business when you asked me to come and join was that you've got a very strong team with a very strong background and expertise in food, and both growing and managing food businesses. And it's very important to make sure that you have a management team at the core. You've got basically a very strong management team, good bunch of people around the board who've got expertise in mergers and acquisitions and understanding how to buy companies well. Also had success with numerous businesses over the years. And at the heart of it all is the quality of the produce and the quality of the product. And I think that that's the most interesting thing about the business. Is there's some fantastic Tasmanian businesses with good sized businesses that have been capital constrained, and our objective is to see how we can help and can we leverage some of what they've got and add our layer of expertise and take it to broader markets. So in essence, we've got a great base. It's what we add to it now, both organically and by acquisition. But it's a good bunch of team and growing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys. We've actually had quite a few questions that have come through, some of which you've actually answered through the presentation. So we'll just go to some of them now. So what type of Tasmanian businesses and product categories are being targeted by PFT?
Sort of as we spoke about in the thing, I mean, if we look at roughly the mandate, I mean, it's going to be better for you categories. So I'm very much focused on, let's start with the consumer. I'm not too worried about the customer, because the customer is basically a distribution point. It's all about where the consumer trends are going. Better for you is by far the fastest growing category, has been for some time. As my previous life, organic was very successful for us. So better for you organic is two big ticks for myself. Plant-based foods is another one, as mentioned, meal solutions, and also protein-based foods. Definitely protein is the fastest growing. I think salmon itself is the fastest growing protein within all of those protein spaces at the moment. I believe plant-based foods, obviously, and plant-based seeds and so on will obviously jump in there too as well. So, and obviously the beverage opportunity for us. So we're not going to be in every category. We've got to make sure that we get some supply chain synergies on both front and back end. There's no point going to acquire a business that doesn't fit within our mandate, and also doesn't fit within our current consumer base and also our customer distribution base. So that's really important that we make sure we think hard about before we go and acquire. We're not going to acquire millions of businesses at all. We're not going to acquire millions of brands. It's all about focus as well. You can have too many and not give much support to the ones that you've got on the table or the portfolio.
Perfect. And another one that's come through. So what is the desired turnover of the business within 12 months?
The desired turnover, as I said, I think we can easily grow the business by 50% on its base. It is only a small business, as you know. We hope to be doing close to 100 million within 5 years. If the acquisitions come to the table, we'll probably achieve more than our growth, obviously, in the first year a lot quicker. But those acquisitions are currently, they will determine the really big uplift, I suppose. But the 50%, I would bank that pretty easily for this year.
And how are discussions going with potential new distribution partners, both here and abroad?
Actually, very well. I've had quite a few meetings this week alone. We've been talking for the last month or so with distribution partners into Singapore. So we've got 2 very live conversations going on there. It looks like basically we nearly sealed those deals, and we're also working very closely with a very, very large distribution partner within Australia. We only had another hookup yesterday. So we're finalising some details. And hopefully I can announce that to the market within probably a fortnight. So that's quite exciting. And that'll deliver significant distribution for Woodbridge Smokehouse through the Australian market. And the Woodbridge is also focused along with the export for pate into the Asian market. So there's a lot going on, and it's pretty exciting. So I'll be letting you all know in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Thanks for that. And can you flesh out the potential margins the company expects across the product lines?
Yeah, we sort of have a mandate or sort of a model where we have to net 30% That's our margins net after, obviously it gross is a lot higher than that, but we want a net 30. So that's what we try and, some SKUs is very hard to do that, but others, you achieve a high number. But if we can average that net 30, we're pretty happy.
Okay. How do you scale up a business like this?
Well, there's two main inputs to a really good business, and the first one is obviously the brands and the people. It's a people business. As I said, in my previous life, we had 150 really good staff, and you can't do these businesses on your own. You need really good brands and build the equity in your brands and invest in your people. Anyone can build a factory, but we're very lucky that, as Sandy mentioned, we're based in Tasmania, so there's only one Tasmania in the world, and we're probably the hottest place in the world at the moment. Touch wood, we're COVID free. It's an amazing place. There's so much produce. There's so much great soil. There's so much great water. There's clean air. Tasmania itself is going to be 100% renewable by this time next year. We won't be using any bad power. So that's pretty cool as well. So we'll be working on the back of that with our export markets too. I think will be a big focus. Global warming, those sort of things, and Tassie's right on the forefront there. We'll only be the 5th place in the world that'll be 100% renewable by this time next year, which is pretty cool.
Perfect. And where do you see the company in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see the company with a revenue north of $100 million in categories that probably aren't there today, because we are going to innovate. My absolute 100% mandate is to be NPD forefront. We're not going to produce Me Too's. There's no value in Me Too's. We're not going to get in commodities. It's going to be a point of it's going to be premium Tasmanian produce. So just looking after the consumers that want to look after themselves, look after what's better for them. That's where we'll be. But we will be, I can say, Jane, we will be different. We're not going to follow the norm, because there's no point. We don't want to go there.
Perfect. And just want to wrap it up. So what really excites you about the futures, and what can investors expect to hear from news flow wise?
Well, so far, it's been a pretty quick journey, actually. We've only been around for 14 or 15 announcements to the market. There's hopefully I'll be able to put a couple more up in the next coming weeks. It's pretty exciting. And the main thing is, to me, is I want to make sure that all our investors feel that they're very much a part of the journey as well. So feel free to contact me directly, or obviously through Jane as well. But as much news I can tell you, I'm allowed to tell you, I will tell you, because I think that's important that you come along for the journey. There's so much going on in the business and so much opportunity. It's a super exciting place to be. It's nimble, it's fast. NPDs all over the desks everywhere. We've got a great team. So we're super excited.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Michael and Sandy. A recording of the webinar will be posted on the company website. And if we've missed any of your questions, please feel free to reach out via the contact details on the bottom of the ASX releases. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jane. Thank you.